Alright, welcome to In My Mailbox Monday for January 2nd. I have a ton of books to go through, actually like 22 of them, and I just recorded this all and then YouTube froze and crashed and did not publish it. So I'm going to do it all over again, and if it doesn't work this time, then I'm not doing another one because it took 12 minutes to go through all these stupid books. Anyways, okay, so lots of books. First one, I got one from the library, Zarka Edge of Dawn by Kelly Gay. This is the second book in the Charlie Madigan series. I really like the first one. It's urban fantasy about a very interesting world. There's like 3 parallel worlds. One's like hell, one's like heaven, one's our world in between them. And I enjoyed it a lot, the first one. So I'm looking forward to reading the second one. I had these all organized by which one I bought, and then I started putting them away and it didn't publish. So now they're kind of all a mess. So I'm just going to have to tell you which ones I did each time. So I bought this book, Switchblade Goddess by Lucy A. Schneider. This is the 3rd book in the Jessie Shimmer series. Another urban fantasy series. It's ultra violent, but very entertaining. This is kind of like load up your biggest gun and go shoot evil demonic stuff type series. And I have really enjoyed it. I don't know what that says about me, but I've really been enjoying it. I think it's really well written. It is pretty out there. So if you like books like maybe Sandman Slim by Richard Kadri, you might like this series. If you like the lighter urban fantasy, this might be a little bit too much for you. It's very creative, very interesting, very violent, but I like it a lot. I got this book through Paperback Swap, and this is 13 Bullets by David Wellington. This is about Laura Caxton, and it sounds like kind of like a post-apocalyptic vampire survival book. And that may not be at all the right description, but I don't know, that's what I thought was. And so I got it to read. I bought this book, and this book is more for work. It's The Principles of Polymerization by Odion. I think that's how you say his name. Anyways, I borrowed this book from my manager for work. I work as kind of a product engineer, formulation chemist type at 3M right now, and I thought it was very informative, so I went online to see how much you could buy it for online, and in general it was $20 to $80 to get online, but somebody had this one up there for $2. I don't know if it's because it's an ex-library copy or what, but I went ahead and bought it because for $2 it'd be really nice to have my own copy. Gifts. Alright, so this is one of the gifts I received for Christmas, Scarlet by Michael Bendis. This is about a girl who basically her boyfriend is killed by some bad cops, and then she goes on a vendetta to wipe out all the bad institutions in Portland. So all the bad cops, all the bad political people, everything like that. Anyways, I like the drawing of it is very, see if I can find a good example of it. It's very like sketched out, dark, you know, fits the story very well. I don't know if I'll keep reading this or not. It was pretty much your typical like superhero vendetta thing. There are some things that were very well done, like the way they tell her backstory and everything is very well done, and the characters are very well done. So if you like that kind of thing, it's kind of like a superhero vigilante, you know, rise up against the institution type of book. And she uses a huge sniper rifle, so that's kind of cool. I also got this graphic novel for Christmas. This is Neverland by Joe Brusha. Very, very cool drawings in here. This is like an adult version of Peter Pan. Definitely not for kids, as you might be able to tell from the cover. Anyways, it's part of the Grimm Fairy Tales series, kind of, but it's a standalone book. It's like a additional separate book from that. I read it. It was really good. They did a very good job of incorporating like the original fairy tale and some mythological elements and everything. And the drawings are beautiful. If you get offended by scantily clad women, though, there's quite a bit of that in this. And so, you know, typical like very classic comic book hero type stuff. This was one I got as a gift kind of for me and my son to share. And this is Citizens of the Sea by National Geographic, Wondrous Creatures from the Census of Marine Life. And the main reason I got this is it has just some absolutely beautiful pictures in it. So my son is very into the ocean and stuff, and I want to get him a book that has some really cool pictures that are bright and colorful. He's only 5, so, and then also had a lot of really interesting information and really well written and has been good from what I've read. I haven't read a ton of it yet. And then this is a similar book. This is Solar System, a visual exploration of planets, moon, and other heavenly bodies that orbit our sun. This is done by the same people who did the Elements book. It's just called The Elements, and I reviewed it earlier this year. It has really cool bright pictures of elements and then all this really neat information about all the different elements in the periodic table of elements. So this is kind of a similar thing but with our solar system, and it goes into like all the different moons around the planets and asteroids and, you know, a whole bunch of cool stuff. Very neat pictures, and so far we've really been enjoying it. Okay, I got 4 books for review this week. The first was Pillars of Hercules by David Constantine. I got this on NetGalley as an ebook. I'm not really sure what it's about, but it's a fantasy, and it's kind of like a historical fantasy, I think, and it sounded really good. I didn't print out a cover picture for it because I couldn't find a good cover picture for it. I found one, but it was like this big on NetGalley. So hopefully, I don't know, you guys can go look it up or whatever. I put the link to the picture below this video, and it's just like a painting or something, which is the backdrop for the cover, but they didn't actually have the writing on it yet. I don't know. The next book I got for review from Library Things Early Review Program is Wishful Thinking by H.P. Mallory. This is the 3rd book in the Jolie Wilkins series. These are kind of like chicklet paranormal fantasy. They're real light and fluffy and funny, and think a little bit like Molly Harper or something like that. They're pretty light and fluffy. They got your typical Jolie's a witch and Rand's a warlock and typical paranormal stuff. But they're well written and they're a lot of fun to read. I started reviewing for Mallory back when she was self-published, an ebook for Kindle and Smashwords, and you know, she was just starting out. She now has a contract. She was one of those lucky people who made it big with her book self-published, and she has a contract with Random House now. So I was excited to get that book. The next book I got was from Amazon Vine for review, and this is Empire State by Adam Christopher. This is supposed to be a different one. It's an angry robot book, and I love a lot of angry robot books because they're just weird. They're creative, and they're usually like nothing that I've ever read before. And this one's supposed to be kind of like that. It's supposed to be an alternate universe. There's a little steampunk, dark, detective noir feel to it. It's supposed to be really weird. So hopefully I like it. I'll let you guys know when I review it because I'll definitely be reading it soon. Oh, I forgot. So this one comes out in February, the end of February. This one came out on Tuesday, the 27th, I believe. And then this one is another one I got for review that comes out in January. It's called The One and Only Ivan. And it's about a gorilla who lives in Mall. Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of weird, huh? It's by Catherine Applegate. Catherine Applegate has read a lot of like beginning chapter book series. And this is, I don't know, this is the first standalone novel of hers that I've seen. I've read some of her other like little chapter book middle grade things, but they're written for a pretty young reading level, so I don't read a ton of them. But this one sounds kind of cool. I love the picture, the little gorilla and the elephant on there. Isn't it cute? So I'm excited to read it. It's got some pictures in it, and it's written like in almost like a poem form, like little mini stories or something like that. So I'm looking forward to reading it. This one I got through Paperback Swap. It's Dragon's Keep by Janet Lee Carey. I reviewed Dragonswood last week, and I really, really, really liked it a lot. So I went back to see what else she had written, and this is one of the first books she wrote in that world. As far as I know, every book is separate story, but they all take place in that world, and some of the characters go between books. So anyways, I'm excited to read this. I got a whole bunch of Courtney Crumrin books for my husband for Christmas. I got Courtney Crumrin in the Night Things to review on NetGalley, and I really, really, really liked it. It's a young adult book about a girl who moves into her grandfather's house, and there's a lot of creepy night things in the house, and she finds out her grandpa's a sorcerer and that she can do witch spells. And so it's all about her both fitting in, and her and her grandpa become pretty close, and she's dealing with all these crazy night things running around the house. The one I reviewed for NetGalley was full color, but this one is, you know, not. So anyways, very fun story. fantasy for young adult, graphic novel fantasy. So I got the next 3 in that series. I got Courtney Whoops, let's do them in order here. Courtney Crumrin in the Coven of Mystics. Courtney Crumrin in the Twilight Kingdom. And Courtney Crumrin's Monstrous Holiday. So I hope they're all good. I was on Goodreads reading reviews of them to make sure the series stayed good before I got them all, and everybody just seems to love them. So, I should show you the art thing my husband got me. He got me this wonderful Doctor Who shirt. See? Keep calm and don't blink. Anybody watches Doctor Who knows about the weeping angels. I think they're absolutely creepy. Sorry, I dropped a book. I think they're absolutely creepy, but I like the shirt, so I was excited to get that too. Next book I got Ruby Red by Kirsten Jyer, and this is supposed to be a young adult ghost story time traveling book of sorts. It's part of a trilogy. It's got a really beautiful cover that I love. The second one is called Sapphire Blue, and it's supposed to be coming out, I think, first half of 2012. Next one was Across the Great Barrier by Patricia Weirdy. I did not realize this was part of a series. The first book was The 13th Child, so I'll have to get that one and read it before I read this one, because I'm kind of a stickler about reading books in order. Anyways, excited to read that. I also got A Beautiful Friendship. These are all gifts now, by David Weber. I haven't read any of David Weber's stuff before. He writes science fiction. This is a young adult science fiction book. Figured this would be a good introduction to his universe since it's young adult, and I like young adult a lot. Another gift I got was The Time of the Fairies, Afterlight into the World. This has some beautiful artwork and photography in it. And it's kind of like, it's got a lot of pictures, but it's also got large sections of story as well. So, anyways, very cool looking. I thought it looked cool and put on my wish list on Amazon, and my mom got it for me. So, I'm excited for that. And then the last one I got is one I didn't know I was getting. I didn't have it on my wish list or anything, but my husband's parents know that we absolutely love Legos in this house, so they gave me the Lego book. And in this little box here there were 2 books. One was called Standing Small, The History of the Minifigure, which is really more fascinating than you might think, because it's got like the history of like why they made the minifigures, some of the really rare minifigures, when they were made, who they were supposed to represent. Pretty fun stuff. I think it's fun. I don't know, maybe it's just geeky, but I think it's fun. Then the other book that came in the box was the Lego book, and it goes through different things like Lego sports, Lego castle, Lego space sets historically. It talks about their catalogs, how they make all the bricks. This is how you make Lego bricks, and then whole bunch of stuff, the whole history of Legos. So I look forward to looking through that when I get time, which I have no idea when that will be. I think that's everything. Oh, I bought one more book. I bought an ebook. I bought Delirium by Lauren Oliver, the special edition, because it was on sale for Kindle for $2.99. So I am looking forward to reading that. I know I still haven't read it, and I really should have read it a long time ago, because it's supposed to be a great book and right up my alley, but I just haven't gotten there. So I have a lot of books. I got a lot of reading to do. And I hope you guys have a wonderful New Year's, and that you got a lot of great books over Christmas, and you have a lot of fun reading them. I will talk to you later. Bye.